Hello and welcome to my show and tell. I am going to show you today about how I use Twitter in my classroom and to be a more savvy educator. So, Twitter for educators is pretty simple. And obviously, we know that Twitter, so I have two accounts. I have a personal account and I have um, an educational or a professional account, which I highly recommend. So, Twitter is an online social networking site. Users can send and read short 140 character messages or tweets. Registered users can read and post, and then unregistered users can only read. They can't repost. So, you have to be a registered user to post or repost anything. So, why I find that Twitter is so helpful is, in today's busy life, Twitter affords the luxury to read and share information quickly and efficiently. So many of the articles I get related to special education, education in general, legislation in both California and Michigan, I can stay up to date with using simply Twitter. Emails usually are long winded, there's a lot of information in them. And this way I can link from Twitter and I can share them with my other colleagues or followers on Twitter. And so in my professional account, I include a bio in my bio that I'm an educator, and there's just a million different users on Twitter, and it's become so much easier than reading emails as well as involved in LinkedIn, but LinkedIn sometimes the articles can be super lengthy. So I like getting just a little bit of information with the 140 characters, and then I can kind of read it later. Edudemic is one of my most favorite educational Twitter pages. It is, so as you can see, the Twitter spectrum for educators watch, talk, and produce. You can look at old tweets, you can analyze math behind a viral tweet, evaluate constant info streams, distinguish between path, egos, and logos. So there's so much that you can do. Conduct interviews with mentors. Actually being in the graduate program at Madonna has afforded me to follow new people on Twitter that I wouldn't normally have had the opportunity to, especially with the tech fair that we had in conjunction with the University of Michigan in the spring, and as well as ones in San Diego. So I like staying up to date on everything that's happening in my home state of Michigan as well as in California, especially legislatively. So this was a cute page I found on Hootsuite, and it's a Dr. Seuss inspired guide to Twitter, and I found it very adorable. Obviously, one tweet, two tweets, old tweets, new tweets, short tweets, long tweets, right tweets, wrong tweets, tweets about content, content about tweets. How do you get retweets when your all tweets seem like repeats? So as you can see, I'll just kind of scroll through it. So you join groups, you follow people, usually people follow you back. Inspirational speakers, key components if you're into DeFore or Marzano or anything in education as well as legislatively. All your senators, representatives have tweets that you can follow, and it keeps you up to date quicker. It's like getting a text message from someone when you would normally have to read, necessarily like an article or something to follow them. So this was just something cute that I found. Of course, we like anything that's rhyming. And, sometimes people try to sell you stuff and whatnot, but it's, for education at least, it's been so helpful to me just to stay on top of my normal hundreds of emails I get in a day. I really appreciate having more time and tweets coming in as I read, and I can retweet them. That's what I like. I can favorite them, I can retweet them. So, to close out this poem, as Aloric said, my chum, it's not about what it is, it's about what it can become. So, there's so many cool things to follow. There's a lot of followers. So, this is my personal account. And so, this is Miss Czech Republic is my, so at Miss Czech Republic. And, I do a brief little bio. I say where I'm at, when I joined. I have my LinkedIn profile. And these are just some of the pictures I've taken and shared at the different tech festivals I've been. Or tech fairs, and it's been wonderful. I felt, like I said, people from the East Coast to the West Coast to different countries. And the nice thing about it is you go on and you follow somewhere, and you can go on, and obviously it shows that I'm following them, the people that are following them, the number, and you can favorite tweets. Like I favorited this one, everything you can, learn everything you can, anytime you can, from anyone you can. There always comes a time when you will be grateful you did, which is so my philosophy. So I favorited this and I also retweeted it. So when I go to just my home screen, I can go to home and all of the things that I'm following or all the people that I'm following will show up. So Google for Education, I love that. I think I talked about that in one of my last blogs or presentations. Google Apps for Education has been amazing. This is just kind of like a sales pitch to bring them to your classroom and at your school. And some of my colleagues use it, some don't. So as you can see, I follow the Detroit News, HuffPost Women, Educators Technology, which is a great one. So I'll go and click on there. They post things every day. And so perhaps I see something, some very good iPads help. So you click on a link, you see what it is, you can go to the article, find out the source, and immediately these are good apps you can use. And especially using apps in the classroom on your mini iPads or whatnot. I mean, people post things and they kind of give you the tutorial so you know exactly what they're all about. As we know, an app can take 5 minutes or it can take, an hour to go through. And again, being a teacher and wanting to be tech savvy, it's nicer to have like this tutorial to go through, or you see one that might be good, like Grammarly for me. I learned about that in the Google's for Educator, and it's something that I love. Grammar checks my emails, and I appreciate it. The only thing I found with Google for educators is it can cause some problems on your computer. So just word to the wise. It's adding more extensions can make your internet browser slow down quite a bit. So this is someone's page that I really like. This woman's name is Cathy Schrock. And again, this woman is a ed tech specialist out of Pennsylvania. She is the director of technology. She is a wonderful resource. And following her, I found her on Twitter by looking up something having to do with education and ed technology. And she had a phenomenal website, like just endless amounts of information that she's put together and compiled that's in a visually stimulating way. And I love her little Twitter tips and tricks. So some of my personal thoughts she wrote: do learn to take advantage of the list. Do put the fact that you're an educator, which is so important. Just when people are requesting to follow you back, I've found that I can, on both my personal and professional, I try to keep them very separate, only because of whether I'm a liberal or, you want to keep religion and kind of your personal political beliefs outside of the teaching world. Obviously, many teachers are Democrats, but many aren't. So again, just keeping your professional and your personal separate is very helpful. And then she just has a lot of good information. Another article I found on teachhub.com was 50 ways to use Twitter in the classroom. And these, again, are wonderful. So when you have older kids, it's a little bit different, and you can use Twitter easier. But tracking a hashtag, I've seen friends do this for their weddings. I've seen other teachers do this for their classrooms. And there's just endless ways to use Twitter. Sync with a blog is a good one. Connect with other classrooms has been cool. The chatting with industry professionals has been awesome. And 20 and 21 are two of my personal favorites. Become politically active and track the government. So especially moving from Michigan to California, seeing the different legislation that's happening, I still keep my credential or my certifications current in Michigan in case I ever want to move back or whatnot. And actually, there's been a couple opportunities that have presented themselves for teaching online courses in Michigan. So keeping my provisional, my professional certificates around and not having to, and renewing them regularly is important. And then writing reviews, post sample questions. There's endless limits for Twitter. So another thing on everyone's homepage. So this is my EUSD homepage. And so we have EUSD chat. So it's every Tuesday. And the nice part about it is that teachers, parents, staff, adjunct staff, all kinds of people that participate or that are part of the Escondido Union School District can be involved. So you go down here and we tweet about the things that we're doing. So you can follow this and I do follow it. It's just I'm not logged in. And there's a USD school, so we had Hour of Code, as many nationwide we did for a couple weeks ago. And then what we were doing with Hour of Code, and then this is special education teachers ready to learn about the zones of regulation. And so it's EUSD chat. And so we're not going to go too back. So look at them. They're using the Google Expedition or the Google Cardboard app, which I absolutely love. That's pretty neat. And then you can expand, you can retweet, you can like I said, and these are pretty cool. So you follow your school's news feed or just the staff in general. So this is sped staff at FAR. This is awesome. So our new superintendent has been pro tech everything. Our last superintendent wasn't quite as tech savvy. The first thing we did at the beginning of the school year was tweet a picture and posted them all at our welcome back ceremony. So that was pretty fun. So just know following your school. So I believe I follow Junipers, which is the school that I work at, which is obviously somewhere you want to follow. So if I look at Juniper Elementary, I'm following, and this is the school that I'm at. So annual Christmas sing along. We all had pajama day. It was pretty neat. And then this is one of my coworkers. He's actually our social worker. We had a reindeer run. This is pancake breakfast for our CSTAT, our student study team, for all the teachers, family reading night. And it's just so nice. It promotes, many of our families are bilingual and they don't have access to internet at home, but they at least have smartphones. So this is another way that they can interact and participate with our school. We just got a garden in our school, which has been pretty cool. And then just seeing the different things that we do regularly. That's Miss Darren. She is, we do harvest, monthly harvest, which we have a new food that the kids try each week. But it's such a way for families to feel and stay connected at our school, it's been so awesome. On Halloween, we had this man that has a Batmobile. It was insane. So Twitter is definitely, without a doubt, something that has been a huge asset to me as an educator. So you log on, you set up an account. Again, I recommend a personal and professional only for political and religious views. And then you begin following your interests and your hobbies. There is, if it's not one thing, it's other. If you like gardening, there's so many different things to follow on Twitter. And it's been super helpful to have it as a teacher. It's just there's so much more. Edudemic is another. So they have the teacher's guide to Twitter if anyone's ever apprehensive about using it. I have a few older teachers that I work with, and not saying that younger teachers don't use it too, but just the amount of information that's out there if you want to tweak a lesson plan or you want to get some ideas. So creating is another way. So like sharing your blog sites, sharing your opinions, sharing articles, just sharing your resources. It's so important. The littlest things I found for my own classroom, what had to do with, a teacher posted that she posts her students' usernames and passwords at 5 different places in her classroom. And honestly, that's been one of the best things that I've done. Another teacher posted she has like a little green screen in her room so that they're always ready for recording. And that has been very helpful. Another teacher posted that, she's found that singing or, using poetry and singing with her students has helped with their reading fluency. So, everything out there, you can use it as much as you want or you don't want. And hashtags are one of my favorite things now, if you notice on social media and on, different programs on television. There, hashtag for everything. You can have a hashtag for bullying, schools, ed chats, preschool, math chat, STEM, hour of code, social studies chat, homeschooling, e-learning, all of these that are listed on there. And they really are so beneficial. And it takes, relatively a little amount of time to just kind of look over Twitter. And again, going back to my home, so when you want to go in, so this is my account for home. And then if I want to, so this is my education. And then if I want to, I can log out and go to my other account, which is my personal and um, doesn't have as much about education and whatnot, more about like following legislation and, my interests like yoga and inspirational quotes and things like that. But overall, Twitter is one of the best forms of microblogging and social media that I found. I use it frequently. And I hope that you continue to use Twitter or will at least consider it after listening to this. Thank you so much.